time to get your fix. Come on down, get your horrible gaming review. 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 Wow.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome back to another horrible game review. You've chosen to return for whatever reason. So before we get into it, as usual, some disclaimers. Number one, I'm a full-time house dad. I put everything I can into this, but, it doesn't always come out the greatest. Also, the word horrible in the title of this video refers specifically to the video itself, not necessarily the game or content I'm doing a review of. I do snap judgment reviews, which means I only get about 5 to 10 hours worth of game, and that's all I use to do the review. I'm trying to give you kind of like a quick judgment on the game so that you will know whether you're going to be having fun right off the bat or not. And then finally, I don't give scored reviews. I don't believe in them for video games. I think it's one of the most subjective forms of art. So therefore, you'll get my overview of the game, the pros and the cons from my point of view, as all reviews are. And then I'm going to tell you whether or not I'm going to stick with the game past the purposes of this review. So the game I'm reviewing today, I was very excited about, and
Are you ready to test
I had to temper that excitement a little bit once I got in, but it's not terrible. We'll get into it all. It's Hyperscape, Ubisoft's shot at battle royale genre. So Hyperscape, right off the bat, when you boot it up, you're presented with the ridiculously over-the-top, in-depth story mission that shows you this Ready Player One world in which Hyperscape takes place. Then you are immediately taken out of the story and realize that none of that matters. Which you're going to be kind of wondering why they spent so much time on that, which we'll get to later. And then you're presented with a battle royale experience. Now, what is this battle royale? How does it differ itself from games of the same genre? How is this one different? I mean, this is becoming an oversaturated market. So what Hyperscape does differently is you're going to notice that there is a huge lack of weapons and equipment, whereas you've got it's much more fine-tuned and streamlined. When you've got like things like PUBG, which is just like a hoarder's collect-a-thon of just all sorts of items and weapons and whatnot, hundreds, I think. This has 9 weapons, and I didn't count the powers, which they call them hacks, but it's definitely under 12, under single digits. And that's it. That's all you collect in the game other than ammo. So at this point, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, he's just leaving out the health drops that you would pick up. That, right there, is what makes Hyperscape completely different from all the other battle royales. There is no health drops. There is no armor pickups or plates that you install on your clothes. Nothing like that. It is a regenerative armor system. So if you're not in combat for a long enough time, your health just comes back. This makes things really interesting, which we're going to get into, but the idea being that like you don't have to pick up health. You either kill the person who's coming after you, or you run well enough and fast enough that you can get away long enough to get your health back. There are a handful of small items that can help you defensively. Like one of them is this weird ball that can trap you, and you kind of like bounce around when you use it as a hack. There's another one that'll bring up this huge like 50-foot wall between wherever you decide to place it, and then another one that does just make you invulnerable for a few seconds, but really they don't give you the feel of armor or a health pickup at all. So that's really where this game separates itself from the other battle royale.
Be aware of your location, contenders. Sectors are starting to
collapse. The other thing you're going to notice if you're a seasoned battle royale player. Now, I am no professional battle royale player. There are plenty of people who can attest to that. I have played a lot of battle royales, though, so I know the basis of them, whether or not I'm good at them. This one spreads the players out better than I've ever seen. Basically, when you log into the like user hub or whatever, it puts you at one of the 4 corners of the map with a group of however many. So when then you get dropped from that high 4 corner. So basically, each 4 corner has people kind of spreading out and moving into the map. So you can't. One of my favorite techniques in other battle royales would be to pick a spot where nobody was, fly as far away from everybody as I could get, so that I could get my bearings and maybe get a couple of good weapons before I had to get into combat. You can't do that with this, because if you do that, you end up running into the other people who have already landed because they just went straight down and have already collected all the weapons. That makes things really weird and interesting. So there is almost always people around you. There's very few times where you could just sit in a place or walk around. I mean, there was a couple of moments where I found some respites, but for the most part, there are a lot of people right around you at all times. Like, it spreads out well. The other name of the game in this is Fusion. So, to make it a little bit more interesting and to keep people wanting to loot, is you can fuse your hacks and your weapons by collecting more of the same type. So let's say you've got a shotgun and you find another shotgun. Instead of just passing that shotgun by because you've already got the shotgun, you can actually fuse the 2 shotguns together, which actually ups the damage or the statistics of the shotgun you already have. You can do this up to 5 times to make some really badass weapons. It does give you this really interesting feel of like any of your weapons could be good as long as you fuse them. With the hacks, at the same time, you get 2 hacks, one on RB, one on LB, and you can fuse those as well, but it just lowers the cooldown time between uses, which is also nice. What's a little bit different here as well, and I can't talk much about this, is that other than actually being the last one standing, you can collect the crown, and if you do this, you somehow automatically win regardless of who's on the map. I have no idea what goes into collecting the crown. I'm not going to lie to you. I started to look it up, and then I just said, hey, I'm just going to point out that there's another way to win. And, you know, this is a Snapchat review, so I really don't know what goes into that, but that is an interesting thing, that there's another way to win other than just kill everyone. As short as it is, that's really your overview of the Battle Royale. I mean, the only other things to add are the fact that you have double jumps in this, which is kind of interesting. They can mantle, and you are very mobile in it. So let's go over the pros and the cons, okay? Right off the bat, we're going to go into a pro for me. And this is kind of a personal pro because not a lot of people like it. But one thing this game makes very interesting is almost every battle royale out there, their goal is to try and force people into the fights. Like, they don't want campers. They create systems, you know, the shrinking maps, and as well as the way the guns work and the rewards for actually fighting other people. They create systems in the game to make you want to hunt down other people. Whereas in this game, it's kind of the opposite. If you can get away from somebody, or you can just stay hidden, it's easy to do that because there's no health, right? There's no, like, that guy's wounded, I can hunt him down and kill him for his stuff. If he gets away for any 10-second period of time, he's going to heal. So you either really have to stick on them and take them down, or it becomes a waste of time to actually get them. Plus, most of the hacks give you these kind of like crazy movement abilities. The one that I found the most useful was a teleport, which just basically it beamed you to another place. Man, I escaped 3 or 4 gunfights with this teleport, and then you gotta wonder yourself, why would I ever go back? I don't need to collect health. I don't need necessarily to collect ammo because I didn't do that much fighting. Why would I go back and fight that guy? There's not really a reason other than to get the kill and to get more, experience points at the end. But you're trying to win, so survival's the name of the game here. So it's kind of interesting. That was a really long pro, but what I'm trying to say is, me as a player, I tend to try and do that more, and I like that there is a way to do that in this game. we are going to get to some cons that I want to point out that make this actually a little bit harder said, easier said than actually done. But still, I like that could be a potential strategy in this game. Your next pro is the polish. This thing says beta on it, but it doesn't feel like one. It really feels fully fleshed out, with the exception of the fact of, like, there is kind of a lack of things happening, a lack of weapons and stuff. There's a lack of, stuff going on. But it does feel fleshed out. I didn't hit any bugs. I had pretty good run-in times. I had pretty good load times. And that was nice, honestly. My next pro would have to be the ease of access on this one, where a lot of battle royales take a really long time to play. I don't feel like this one didn't feel like it did. I would play like 10-minute matches, and those were with me getting to like number 30 or so. So like it's a much quicker in and out speed, which we're also going to talk about in the cons. All right, so let's go to the cons. Let's get negative with it. Number one. Why is there so much emphasis on a story that is completely absent from the game? Don't get me wrong. I understand what a battle royale is, and I have no problems with like free-to-play multiplayer battle royales. My thing is like, why make a huge story trailer that presents this like other thing for just a battle royale? I mean, people are going to pay the battle royale because it's a battle royale. They don't need that weird big preamble to it, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it could have been done way easier than that, and in a way, it's kind of misleading. My next con is the deployment. Now, I know I said it makes everybody very spread out, and while most people out there who just love that early gunfight are thinking, well, I like that. I would like that part. I hated that part. And the reason is you have this kind of like weird possibility in this game of actually just like avoiding people as a strategy. But you can't implement it because no matter where you drop on this map, you're running into somebody because of the way they spread people out. So timing is everything. And I can't count the number of matches where I would drop into an area and just get shot without even having a chance to get a gun. Which actually brings me to my next my next con. There is no weapons in here. And I'm not talking about the fact that there's only 9 types of weapons. I'm talking about the fact that, like, there's no guns. There's no guns to loot. There's nothing anywhere. So you get this weird feeling of, like, the first person who drops in an area gets all the guns and nobody else who drops there gets it. You look at other games like PUBG or Apex Legends, just about anywhere you can at least get some type of weapon. This one, there was a few games where I played all the way till halfway and couldn't find a gun. I continued to avoid people and survive, and I just couldn't find a weapon or a hack anywhere. That's a little messed up. The buildings have the weapons and hacks, but there's almost no way into the buildings half the time. So that I found really irritating. I think that was the biggest problem that I had there. Just the spread and that together created this really toxic feeling in myself that I would just drop in and get shot, or I would spend a really long time in the game and just felt like I was going nowhere because I couldn't collect anything. And that's really frustrating. My next con is the weird event stuff that happens in the Battle Royale. This kind of stuff was hyped in the beginning, with Twitch integration and stuff like that. And it sounded really cool and interesting, something to shake it up. I didn't experience one that mattered. And that's kind of a bummer. With how much emphasis they put on it, I got really excited, ooh, this is going to shake things up mid-match and keep it just interesting the whole time. But I didn't, like I said, I did not find one that mattered. There was one where everybody could see all the supply crates on the map. That was nice because I could find a weapon. But other than that, I really didn't have any of them actually change anything that happened to me. And maybe that's just me not playing enough, which is possible. But overall, I was just, I don't know, I was expecting so much more than what I got, I guess. All right. I think I got it all. So let's go to whether or not I'm going to stick with
Time
it.
to play,
So
contenders.
this is a tough one.
Eliminate
I
all
really
other
want to like
contenders,
this one. I
or
really want to
secure
play
the
it.
crown
And
to win.
I will say right off the bat, I don't think it deserves the 5 it got from IGN. I think it should have gotten a little bit higher. I don't give scored reviews, but if you're giving a scored review, I definitely think it's better than a 5. Does it do enough to separate itself and make itself interesting in the Battle Royale space? I don't know that it does. I think it's unique, and I think it has a lot of great ideas. But at the end of the day, there is a lot of lack of substance here that is going to be a problem. Like, a lot of the things that are supposed to shake things up or make things interesting don't. They make it a little bit more boring, and that's a little bit of a problem for me. So, as far as whether I'm going to stick with it or not, probably going to jump into it a couple more times and see how it goes, definitely as they update it. But overall, I think I'm happy with the games that I play right now. This is definitely not going to kick any of them out. So, that's my review. Did I do good? Did I do bad? Do you hate the sound of my voice? Either way, you can put a comment below, and I'd love to hear from you, and I try to respond to everything. And you can always contact us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord. The link is in the description below. You can influence this and every one of our shows from there. And yeah, until next week, which I think I'm going to get to do Battletoads, which is really exciting. But as long as you guys keep watching and listening, I'll keep making them. See you then.